Okay, this for now is going to be the last in the series of Twinmotion to Oculus Quest 2. So again, we've been working with this file I've dubbed Thorn Quest, and we've gone directly from Twin to VR through linking the Quest 2 to the computer. But this last step is going to be stringing these pre-rendered panoramics along with the pre-rendered video to play in a non-linear way. In other words, I can navigate between those all in a single app inside of the Oculus Quest 2, untethered from the computer. And so this app that I've been working with for a while, that I've just become a huge fan of, it's called 3D Vista. It's a little bit pricey, but it is not a subscription-based thing, so I'm willing to pay for something that's not subscription anymore in my life. And it's just really freaking cool. I don't know how else to describe it, and I think the potential for us to use this in architectural visualization is absolutely tremendous. It's a little bit tricky, though, to work with the Quest 2. We're going to need to put the Quest 2 in developer mode. Creating the files and going through it, it's a little bit of a learning curve, but it's nothing too great. I'll get you up and running on it here in this video, both in terms of getting the Quest in developer mode so you can install the 3D Vista app on the Quest, as well as how to build these files. So again, I had those pre-rendered files coming out of Twin, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go create new projects. I am going to just accept the defaults and say select. And I am going to begin by importing panorama files, and they are standard. And notice there are some opportunities to work with stereo panoramics. So again, that is a definite possibility. Again, for my own personal learning curve, I am still working through this in terms of doing monoscopic. Okay, they're just a lot easier to work with. They do some amazing things, and I'm totally cool with it. Okay, so I've got these two files now loaded in. Let's load in one more. Let's go to 360 videos, add a 360 video, and then we needed video 10 MP4. If you recall, we did an injection of it to make it run as a 360 file. You do not have to do that for 3D Vista. It's going to acknowledge what we have. So all's good with that, okay? So let's go into our panoramas, and let's select panoramic 1. And what I'm going to do is create hotspots that allow me to navigate from seating 1 to seating 2, as well as either one of these to the video itself. So there's a lot of settings to get into in this, okay? And I am not going to go through all of them. We're just going to go through some of the basics, okay? And let's also assume that our end user is a little bit less comfortable with virtual reality, and let's give them an option to do what I call the looky-loo, right? So rather than selecting with the pointer, I'm going to set this up so that we can use simply gazing at one of my hotspots to navigate. Okay, so that is located, oh my gosh, it's been a while, 3D Vista. Well, I might have to come back to that in a second. Navigation settings, enable gyroscope lock and touch. Well, they might have changed exactly how that works because I'm not seeing the gaze option. That might just be something that happens by default now. We'll check it out as we go along. Okay, so let's go seating 1. And if you can't tell, again, I've done quite a bit in 3D Vista, but all things considered, I would say I'm fairly new at all of this stuff. Okay, so underneath publish, let's give this a name. So this is VR Twin to Quest demo. So that's what it's going to publish that project as. Don't really care about the description and author right now. It's all good. So I'm going to go to settings, seeding 1, select it. And I am going to go to hotspots. That is going to pull up that image, full go, right? So I can see that inside of 3D Vista. And I'm going to click on my image icon. And I'm going to create this sort of nice little animated arrow that takes me to my next position. I'm just going to put it right there. Super, super simple. So whenever I select this, once I publish this app, it's going to take me to whatever I assign this to. Okay, so to assign an action to it, I'm going to click Add Action. That is going to open a panorama, and it's going to open Seeding 2. So it's opening that file on click. It's going to create a smart entry. In other words, it's going to, wherever I'm looking, it's going to open that up dynamically. It's not going to snap me to the default for the image. So there are times where I want to use either one of those, right? And it's going to open that up in my main view. So I'm going to click Done, and that's ready to go, right? So the next thing I want to do is let's create a little icon up here, another hotspot, to send me. I'm going to make that guy even a little bit bigger perhaps. Let's go ahead and select it. Make that just a little bit bigger so we can have an idea where that's going to go. Add action. This one is going to open up a 360 video. That's video 10. Select. Same kind of thing. It's going to automatically play whenever it's opened, and it's going to work on click. Done. So both of those things are now ready to go. So the next thing that I need to do is go to Seeding 2. I'm going to add a hotspot. Add action. Open panoramic. Seeding 1. So that takes me back to Seeding 1. And then let's add another hotspot. Up here. Make it a little bit larger again. Add action. 360 video. Video 10. And done. So let's go back to my 360 video. Let's select this guy. And because this is such a short clip, I'm definitely going to have it play as a loop. So in other words, it's going to repeat that. And let's go to hotspots on the video, because I need to be able to get back into the interior space. So again, I'm going to click Image, my arrow. I'm going to place it right about that doorway. Add my action, open panoramic, Seeding 1, select, and done. So that has all of those linked together. Cool. So let's do a little file save. Let's run the preview. It's going to say this shouldn't take too long because everything is already in H.264. It's going to launch the tour. And now you can see sort of the standalone version of what I have. So panoramic 1, panoramic 2, and then I can go up to the video and back inside. And if you notice, okay, so that smart entry, that's not so great, right? It's oriented me looking away, which is nice if I'm making small jumps, right? I really need this to snap back to this view. So let's go back in and let's make one more edit on this. So let's close down the preview. And let's go back into my panoramas. Or it really should be back into my 360 videos, I think. No, it's going to be on the actions. Okay, so let's go back into my panoramas. Seating 1. Hotspots. Let's select that. And let's edit this action. So I can pull that back up with a double click. And rather than doing smart entry, I am going to save that as start point. Done. Let's go to seating 2. Select that panorama, double click on what it's opening, the 360 Video 10. And again, rather than smart entry, start point fixed. Preview. Let's hope I selected the right option there. Selecting that hotspot. Yeah, much happier. That takes me right to it. Let's check it from the other location. Perfect. So that's bringing up that initial framed view that I set up in that video. Now, there are other things. Let's close out of that preview that I can add. If I'm in this 360 video, if you notice, there are some really amazing things that I can start to add to this. I can bring in some sound effects. I can start bringing in all different kinds of things to make this happen, which is really, really cool. But one of the most important things that I'm going to do with this in particular here is come back to edit, our publish. One of the most important things that I can do is send this entire file over to my Quest 2. So let's go ahead and walk through that process. So what I'm going to do is I need to add on the skin. So this is the overlay on everything for the file. Okay, so this is sort of, think of this as your menu system. And for the most part, if I'm going to VR, I'm going to keep this really simple. But I do want to add a button on this that allows me to send this to virtual reality. Let's see here. That is not what I wanted. It's in the icon button library. Let's close that one more time right here, the icon button library. And if I look in my categories, one of my key categories is VR. So these are different symbols that will take me, and embedded in these images is the information to say, okay, open this up in VR, which is exactly what I want. So I'm going to go ahead and use this one. I'm going to say select, and I'm going to place it right down here, bottom right. And if you notice, it's already embedded with this is the option that it is Media Control VR. So it's going to switch me to that, which is perfect. And at this point, it's time for me to do a file save. And let's go ahead and run a publish on this file. So I'm going to go publish. And again, what I'm doing is I'm sending this both for the web or mobile, and I'm going to send this as a standalone player. So this would make it an executable file. We're not going to show that right now. We're primarily going to be using this web mobile version right here. Don't really care about the Mac version, but if you're on a Mac, again, you're going to want to be able to have that as an option as well. And if you notice, great little option right here, optimizes for the Quest 2. So we're going to go ahead and say publish. And I'm going to send this to demo to Quest. So we're going to select that as a folder. And that folder is what I'm going to need to copy everything over to the Quest. So again, super fast on that. Hopefully everything's going to work. To get the Quest 2 app onto the Quest 2, it is not a typical app. It's an app in the developer system. So the steps that you need to go to developer.oculus.com and register your device and yourself as a member of the development community. So I've already done that. Essentially I'm going right to here and creating a team. If you haven't created something yet, you just need to go through the create process. So to make that happen, you're just giving it a name. Mine is Drury University VR Development. I am the administrator, and I have absolutely no friends yet whatsoever in that. That's step one. The next step is on your phone. So let me start screencasting from my phone again. So with that, I'm going to switch over to the phone, and we'll run the screencast on the phone. And what we're going to see from there is, let's go ahead and let's launch the Oculus app. I need to make sure that I am connected to the correct device. So I've got my Quest 2 connected. And I need to, let's back out of this portion of it really quick. And let's go to menu. And on menu, we need to go to devices. So we've already set ourselves up as a developer online. Once I restart the device and it reconnects with my account, I should be able to see this developer mode icon right here. And I want to make sure that that is turned on. It is currently off by default. It should look like, once we stop the spinning wheel of doom here, it should be off by default. We want to make sure that that developer mode is in fact turned on. Please stop spinning. You're running the demo. Let's go back here really quick. Developer mode. Good. I canceled out. So that developer mode, we want that switched on. That is going to allow me to search and find the 3D Vista app inside of the Oculus Quest 2. Okay, so super, super important to be able to do that. So let's go ahead and start up the screencast for the Quest 2. So let me hit start. We'll make sure that this picks up. Last time I ran this demo, it did not, so we're sort of re-recording here some portions of it. Let me get to my controllers. And let's back out to my app menu. And we will launch 3D Vista here from the beginning. Right, so let's go to 3D Vista. Oh, it's already open. Duh, Dave. Let's quit. And let's launch that right from the very beginning. Okay, so this is where we left off in the third demo with those images. So the 3D Vista, you'll want to install that. Again, you're not going to be able to install it unless you're in developer mode. So you have to have gone through your online account. You have to go into the Oculus app and activate developer mode for the device. So we're going to click open. Since I've copied everything over to my folder, so I've got currently these 4 projects right here in my 3D Vista folder. I'm going to take this one directly to, or open up the ThornQuest file. Right, so now I have image 1 from the back row, image 2 from the front row. Let's turn around, let's go back to that guy. Back row, and let's zip up here. And we'll select that icon to take me to the video from above. And you'll see this goes for 5 seconds. You'll actually see it glitch right there. All the birds snap back to their beginning point, which is why you definitely need longer clips than 5 seconds for this. But it gets you the idea of this is now a living world, and I can send this to a client. They can zip through all of this inside of the 3D Vista app and be able to navigate through all of these different media contents. I can begin adding audio and sound and really make this a full doc immersion, sort of cinematic kind of experiment or experience, which is really where we see these kind of projects headed in the future, using something similar to this 3D Vista app. And we're just really excited about what that 3D Vista app can do for us to sort of make these experiences really amazing. Start gamifying them a little bit and making them really wildly interactive. Thanks all. Cheers.